It's interesting too, like what you're saying about like using the body pendulum, like that exercise that we did together, um, to figure out like what's right for you, what your subconscious is saying to go with. I actually had to use that because I was invited by Willer and his family to go to Hong Kong. And
Oh wow.
then Willer and I were going to go to Japan afterwards. And I was like, okay, this sounds good. And like he has to go to get his ID fixed and like to get his ID like renewed or whatever. So he has to go. And his family was like, we're going to invite you and pay for your ticket. I kept getting like, I wasn't excited about it. And I actually felt like my body was saying no to receiving that.
Mm,
And I was
And
like,
why is that?
okay, because I'm not meant to go. And it was me setting boundaries and looking at what actually makes sense for me right now. And just because he has to go, and just because I was invited and the airfare was going to be paid for, and a lot of the accommodations when we were in Hong Kong were going to be paid for as well. My body was still saying no. It was saying no, and I was like, "This is a great opportunity, though. Why are we saying no to this?" Like, so I just kind of like kept my mouth shut and was like, "Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, that sounds great. This sounds fun."
Can I say,
And then I
okay,
went
look,
to my mom's for a couple of days,
oh,
and
sorry, I dropped
it
out.
kept getting
Sorry,
nagging. It
baby.
was nagging and nagging and nagging. No, it's okay. It was like nagging and nagging at me, and finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna check in with my body and like really see. And I asked the question in about 6 or 7 different ways just to make sure I wasn't doing it on my own, right? I asked yes and no questions, right? And every time it was like, okay, like I almost fell flat on my face and flat on my ass twice, like doing the yes and the no. And I was like, I'm not supposed to fucking go. And like, yeah, this looks like a great gift and a great opportunity, but I'm actually not meant to take it. And there was a lot of different boundaries that I needed to set within myself and like where I'm at to be like, taking that trip puts me in a position where I'm not in financial control of my situation.
mm,
Yes, it's a gift, but there's been like I don't actually have enough money to go on that trip. I don't have spending money. Um, I wouldn't have
yeah.
money to go to like to spend in Japan. I
No,
would
It's a
have
that
lot
to
to
was my next
travel,
work
man.
question.
It's
But
always more than you
work
think too. Things come
work
up all the
really
time
really
too. Yeah.
hard. I'd
Yeah.
have to work really really hard to just to
Mm,
get there and have money for the trip, so I'd be pushing myself to work to save money for the trip, but when I came back I'd still be in the same financial position that I'm at, potentially even worse than I
mm,
am. I'd be away from my house for a month, away from
yeah.
my cats for a month, like
Oh, a
away
month.
from
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because he wanted to do Hong Kong for 2 weeks and Japan for 2 weeks. And that was going to be our plan. And then my whole body was like, no, man, like, and then I was like, when I finally told him, I was like, look, like, this is a full body no for me. And I know
Mm,
you're really excited about it. And I know it's an opportunity. And I know it's kind of a weird thing to say no to a gift. And it's like a
yeah.
cultural thing. There's cultural stuff behind that as well. When you get invited to something and you say no, it's not really a good look, right? Like they can take a lot of offense to that. And for me, I'm just like, I can't let any of that dictate my full body no. And like, I can't go along with this. And it was another thing for me to like learn how to set a boundary for myself and to do what was right for me, despite what everybody else is saying, despite how much people are going to be like, you turned down a free trip to Asia. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, okay, but I'd much rather go to Asia knowing that I paid my own way there, knowing that I went and I took that time away from my work, I took that time away from my home at a place that I feel stable enough to do that. Right now, I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the lesson for me was like falling back into old patterns and be like, yeah, free shit, just give me the free shit, but knowing it's not
Everything has
necessarily
a
what's
cost. There's a
right.
back end cost
Right,
sometimes that you
right.
don't. I
So
always spend way more on traveling than I expect. Like there's always stuff that comes up or something I need
yeah,
to rent something
well,
else
perfect
or stay
example.
somewhere longer. You miss a flight or
well,
something, yeah, or
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
perfect
flight
example.
delays.
We'll have a look what happened to me with or even simply getting new bloody luggage, Sarah. Same
yeah,
thing.
We had to go get new
Simple as that. I had
luggage
to
because
get
his
new
fucking
luggage because it
zipper
was
broke.
costing me a bloody bomb because I didn't
Hmm.
realize that the 1940s bloody thing I had in there. That I thought, oh, I'll get a bigger bag, I'll be right. But it was bloody £10 before I even started.
Yeah.
So I was down to shit house
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, I get you. Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
my devil's advocate was, are you holding yourself back to what it is? But then you just answered it with, you go, okay, at this moment I can't do it because.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go devil's advocate here. When is the right way? If something were to come up, because we always say, look, you might not be in the perfect position, 51%, but when
Mm.
is the time to jump in those situations?
Well, for me, it was like the time would have been to jump if I got a full body yes, but I wasn't getting that. My whole body and system was tensing up every time Willard talked about it. Every time he got excited about it and tried to make plans for it, my body was tensing up. And I was like, am I I've never been one to like have resistance around receiving a gift like that ever. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't a receivership thing. This isn't something about being blocked around receiving a gift. I've received free coaching, like $8,000 coaching programs before for free. I've received like thousands of dollars worth of stuff for free. My light therapy machine, my dad, I was supposed to pay him back for it, and he ended up just saying, you know what, don't worry about it. And I was so grateful. Like, so I really had to check all these things. I'm like, am I having trouble receiving for some reason? I'm like, no, it's not that. It's there's something more to this. And it wasn't like I'm not afraid of traveling. I love traveling. That's my dream. I manifest. Like I sit and visualize myself on private jets all the time. I
Mhm.
sit and visualize myself like going to all these exotic locations. Like I want to do that. But this time it was just like, why am I so in resistance to this? And it was my body was just telling me like this, it's time for you to set a boundary instead of just keep taking. Um, and like Willer's family has helped me a lot in my financial distress period when I was going through my freeze response for 3 years. My family didn't have the means to like to hook me up and like make sure that I was okay, but Willer's family did. And they helped me out a lot, like a lot. And I was feeling like, you know what? Like I would much rather because he was like, oh, well, when we go to Japan, my mom has all these friends and she'll come with us and like, she'll hook us up with like all her connections. I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather pay for my own flight to Japan and call Willer's mom and be like, do you want to come? I'm going to get your ticket when I'm financially able to do that as a
Yeah.
thank you for her. And the moment I said that out loud to him, my whole body just relaxed and was like, that feels right.
So
That
honesty. So
feels good.
basically, the honesty of stuff like that. So I go the other way with that. With there's so much stuff that comes to me. Well, now it does, and I guess to a point, I'm better. I'm better equipped because I've gone through what I'm going through to actually speak my mind a little bit more and go. Especially the big, as you said, Di, the traveling changes you, and everyone goes, "Oh, I've got to do this, got to." But it's all about the spirit. It's all spiritually from and lessons about yourself, boundaries, all those kind of things. And like, it was really weird that I went around I've always wondered what this gift of mine is and all this kind of crap, right? And because I do the cards, I do the books, and all that, but what's the key in a gift? And the key in a gift is the being a pure white lighter. Basically, when I went round, everyone got a realization about something about themselves. And that's a great way to look at counseling, if you want to put it. I don't know what word, mentoring or whatever, motivational mentor. I'm trying to get a
Yeah.
sense, you know what I mean? That when I went round, everyone had a revelation about things because they could be themselves, safe space, non-judgment, something always came out. And all the messages that I got was, the cards are going to help people. That's part of you. You know what I mean? The bat belt of gifts I've got. So that enthusiasm and love for life, how can you transfer that to other people and help them out? And what skills have you got when they come into your space? And again, it's backing myself with the shit that I've got. Does this work? I don't worry. I still doubt it here and there, and it holds me back a bit. But
Mhm.
there's a process as well. Like when I came back, there's a process of what I've had to do, and I've basically just cleaned this whole joint up and started minimizing. I had to do that first. And again, people go, that maybe might be an excuse to stop doing things, but I think clearing your mind and doing what you learned. But again, you have to put yourself into that situation where you go, right, after that's done, you got to do this. I go, rightio.
Yeah, that's I was noticing too, like when you were saying how people are treating you, but oh man, you're just on vacation, like that's stupid, like oh, get your head out of your ass kind of thing. That happened to me when I went back to Ottawa for a visit after 4 years of being here. And everyone, like people would ask me how things are going. And I would be honest and be like, oh man, it's fucking great. I love it there. There's this, there's that, there's mountains, there's ocean, like the beaches are gorgeous. And the more I would talk about it, the more people would get kind of pissy with me and be like, oh, and start talking to me like I was talking to them, like I'm better than them now that I've
Yeah.
gone and moved somewhere. And it's like, I realize now that that's just their fears being
Some people
projected
want to stay away
onto me.
from. Yeah, I got time for
Yeah,
people like that.
those are that's
Yeah,
just people projecting their shit onto
yeah,
you because they're not ready to make the kind of plunge. And a part of them is jealous that you do have the balls to fucking go and move across the country and they don't. And that's triggering the part of them that's wanting that for themselves
yeah.
that isn't being given the opportunity to do that kind of thing. So you got to just take it with a grain of salt when people talk to you the way
Mm.
that they're talking to you about that, because they're just projecting their own fears, because there is a part of them that wishes they had the cojones to fucking go on a world tour and like travel around and see what it's like in other places. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
it activates the parts of ourself that don't feel comfortable with that. And it's like the more you heal, the more you grow, it's going to trigger and activate the people around you that aren't ready to.
Yep, that's for
And
sure.
that's exactly the same as the more you travel, the more you come back with your stories and tell your stories about how great other parts of the world are. It's going to trigger the people who aren't ready to broaden their own horizons because there's something blocking them from that.
Yep,
And they're going to try to make you feel like shit
that's how
because
they
they feel
feel.
like shit.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
there's your subconscious mind doesn't realize the difference between you talking to somebody else and talking to yourself. So
Yep.
anytime somebody's throwing a bunch of shit at you, just realize, okay, like I don't really understand where this is coming from. Oh, their subconscious is triggered and it's trying to talk them out of going somewhere that they want
Yeah.
to go. It's trying to talk them from stopping
Mm.
or talk them into stopping their dreams. And like, that's their fears acting up and like being triggered. So just realize like the moment that somebody has a weird reaction to you telling them good news, it's because their subconscious mind thinks that it's talking to themselves. So just
Oh,
realize like,
absolutely.
that's their shit, not mine. And just be like, you know what? Yeah, man, like I had a great time. Um, you know, I would really encourage anybody who's willing to do it and just walk away. You don't have to argue. You don't have to get in a fight with them. You don't have to
Not
try
to
to
prove your
convince
No,
point.
them
you're
you're
Yeah,
dead
right.
right there.
it's a
You
different
don't,
frequency. It's a different
yeah, you don't,
frequency.
yeah,
You can't
then they're
translate it.
never,
You
yeah,
can't
they're never
translate
going
it.
to get it. If they're not
Yeah.
ready to receive that energy from you and they block you by trying to put you down,
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, absolutely. The other thing is, where was I going with that? Well, the next thing. Oh, so I had a dream this morning, which is basically on the same path of what we're doing. It's a case, well, I'll put it this way. I had these dreams where you're sort of captive, you're getting held back. And then this today, like there was basically, okay, straight up on a train, people hijacked the train, right? I won't go into all the details that were in there. But basically what happened was when they said get off the train, right? Um, when they get off the train, there was an opportunity to run. Now, for me, me being aware of what we did the run and everything, and you know, got away and all that, and then like told people this is what happened, and everyone got caught, and but the thing was, the key point of it is when I had the opportunity to go, I did, And I think that's what
Yeah.
my vision was telling me. I call them dreams visions now because I think they're messages from the universe. I don't vision as much as I used to before but anyway, this was clear as day. Like opportunity was there and I took it. I
Yeah.
ran.
It
And
becomes like
what you
obvious
run?
what the answer is. Like it's almost like an inner knowing, but it's not like a sense of urgency. It's like, oh, this the next step, but this is what I'm supposed to go on. Like when you're actually
Well,
in
the
line,
thing,
like you'll feel it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the thing is, the opportunity's there. Like you'll know when
Yeah.
if it, like the perfect thing was okay. There's an opportunity to run, and we did. Okay, and that's what happens in life. If there's an opportunity there, take it for what it is, and
Yeah.
you'll feel it. This is where you have to have that inner feeling with yourself.
Yeah.
Coming back, my book's nearly done. But again, book's nearly done and all that, and I'm just trusting the process a lot more. Um, Keeping that energy up that I've got. You know, it's a bit different. I'm a bit more of a recluse to people. Go back to work soon, and just live the life you're supposed to, pretty much.
That's so funny. Oh my God. So I decided to start playing with my cards here. You just got back. One of the cards that came up is the return.
Of course.
And it says right here, a new story. You decide alignment, and it's all coming together.
Thanks, because it is. Thank you.
Yeah. And then
I had
the
fun
other
with I like
one,
haircut, the house of I like haircuts.
the other one that came up too is the sun, joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly where we're at. I've
Yep.
downscaled everything. Like I bought 30 tubs and putting stuff away, ready to make the next move in life. It's all
Yeah.
happening. But again, it's like, could I have done this 5 years ago? No, because I wasn't spiritually there. And probably
Yeah.
now I look back on it, I had opportunities but then no, I mean you have to be where you're at. Look, I took care of my daughter for 20 years. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. I did all the pre-work and then the event happened and then I went through the event, met all you guys, mentors and all that. Now I'm at this point, which I'm pretty happy with. That's why I say you have to sort of accept where you are. As Cortez said to me, you are where you're meant to be, and you have to accept that. These are, you've learned those lessons. You become more aware. You've grown spiritually. You've gone into 5D, whatever it may be. You're meant to be where you're meant to be right now, and that's
Yeah.
it. End the story. Trust the process. Trust the flow. When I met Bret Hart, here's a perfect example. My inner knowing was I went down on my birthday and I thought, oh, it'll be the ultimate to meet him on my birthday. Didn't happen. All right. I've gone, oh, okay. All right. Not meant to be. All right.
Yeah.
That's a wish. The energy wasn't supposed to have. What you got to do is trust the process, trust the story it's written. 2 days later, I'm standing at my hotel going, right, I'm going in anyway. I was going into the Hitman bar anyway. Right. I thought, someone, I got tipped off that he could be there on Thursday or Friday. I go, all right. Okay, so I went there. I thought, will I take everything, put me bloody Pitman? He goes, no. Nah. So I put a T-shirt on and go. Off I went, walked in, sat down, turned left. There he was.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I just watched one of my friend's stories. She just returned from a training that she'd been wanting to do, and she said she's been wanting to do it for 7 years. And the 7 years, like if she had done it 7 years ago, it would have been a lot cheaper. Would have been so much more affordable to go 7 years ago. And all of a sudden, things aligned for her this year to be able to go, and she just got back. And she's like, it was all meant to happen at this point because I needed to get the other training that I did in this 7 years period for me to see the difference between the two. I needed to be able to have this experience behind me in order to fully appreciate what I was going into and what I was learning in a deeper way. If I had just gone when it was cheaper, it wouldn't have made, like, it would have been great, but she wouldn't have got the same level of experience that she got from doing it now because she had all that other work behind her already. And she was able to see the difference between what those types of practices have to offer compared to the training that she wanted to do. And now that she's back, like she's been, she already had her business like up and thriving. She has a whole list of clients that are already happy and eager to work with her. And even though this training was like 10 times more expensive now than it was 7 years ago, even just by saying, hey, I'm back, I'm changing the way I'm doing things, I'm offering these new sessions now, everything on my website is going to be changing, everything, the way that I do things is going to be changing. Does anybody want in at like at a lower level just while I'm getting my feet wet in this? And she's already fully booked and she's only been back a day. Like, so, you know, like she's, and she wouldn't have been able to have so many people trusting her and eager and ready to book with her in this new practice. If she had gone 7 years ago, she would have had to just build slowly,
Yeah.
doing this, trying to get people to believe
Yeah.
in her with this really in-depth, interesting practice, right? But because people already trust her, they're like, doesn't matter if it sounds wooey, it doesn't matter if it sounds weird, we trust you, we believe in you, take our
Yeah.
money. And now she's killing it and she just got back. Like, so I think that's you know, it really goes to show like the universe sets things up in a way, even if it feels unpleasant, even if what you're, the point that you're at doesn't feel like it's where you want to be, it doesn't mean that's not where you're meant to be. So,
That's right.
you know,
Yep.
just take where you're at for the lessons and the opportunities and like energy that it's bringing to you. Move through it the best that you can, learn what you can learn. You know, don't fall a victim to your circumstance, really own it and empower yourself in what you're going through. Know that you're there for a reason, and just keep going.
Yeah, just got to keep. You just got to take it as it comes. Yeah, as I said, with the book that I've written, you know, the chapters that I did. It's funny, the chapters that I did on YouTube. Now it's gone into a process. Now it's coming into a book. It's just the way it is. Yeah, and you got to accept it because I mean I'm impatient. I want everything to happen yesterday.
Everything
but
is a
now
process, man. There's a process for
Well, it's a
everything.
process
No one
within your
wants to
mind.
hear
Think
that in
about it.
instant gratification society, but
Well, this is it. But the thing is also it's a process in your mind as well. Think about it. What you're doing. You know, you've got to do the right thing. Like I'm doing all these videos and stuff, not having direction, but it's part of the healing. You know, it's
supposed
part
to learn
you're
that
actually
way.
doing
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
You're learning something,
And then
extract the lesson. Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Look, for all the whinging that I have, there's a certain process. I know, and I can get frustrated as much as I like, but I know there's a certain process wherever it, and just once you tick something off, the next thing comes, and that's the main thing. When you turn the mirror onto yourself and take everything as a lesson, gift, or message, and you actually walk it and control your ego to say, or your subconscious, that your old programming, and just walk it. And when there's a block in the road, you go, okay, I'll go over the top of it. Whatever needs to be done, I'll do it, and then I'll keep walking instead of going, oh shit, I got to go back. Oh, well, whatever. Just go right. You make a steady assessment to walk forward, and you go from there.
Exactly.
They call it pivoting sometimes, like in your business or pivoting in just in life. Like you're not necessarily changing the whole course, but you're kind of just making like a slight adjustment so you can get more like.
Well, I say
aligned
slide. I say
yeah,
even there's a wall, just jump over and keep going.
changes.
Yeah,
Adjusting it
yeah,
changes. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
yeah. There's a change is jumping over the wall instead of
Yeah.
walking straight. There you go. All these analogies make bloody sense. Let's be.
Yeah. It's interesting too, like as I was flipping those cards, one of them came out and I decided to put it back in. I was like, that one did something weird. So I put it away. Then I was like, no, pull that card out again. And it actually makes sense. If you look at how they came out, it was the return, a new story, you decide, alignment, and it's coming together. This middle card that I put away was the void. And the void is about your inner winter, rest, patience, and potency. There's secret beginnings that are starting to take place. So allow yourself to like rest. You know, if you're not like right exactly where you need to be, let yourself be patient, feel the potency of like the void, because there is something new that's going to come out the other side when you're ready to. But don't be afraid to like just rest and be patient with it, because on the other end of it there's the sun, which is the enjoyment, joy, life force, success.
That's
And
how I'm feeling it. That's pretty
play.
much where it's at. Like, pretty
Yeah.
much, say for example, yeah, advertising on Amazon and stuff. I've done that. But then when my book comes out, they're going to teach me about Amazon. So sit and wait. You've done the process. You've got what you have to get up. Okay, and just go
Mhm.
right. What's the next step? Because there's
Yeah.
always a fear of, oh bloody hell, I hope I'm not making the wrong choice,
Take a leap of faith
but not the wrong
sometimes.
choice.
Yeah.
Or do I need to know more? So just let it happen.
Yeah.
You put it up. That's good. Let it happen. Then the next step, next step, next step, next step. Don't force
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And sometimes the next step is to just rest and be patient. Like let yourself
Yeah,
let it all
exactly. Yep.
sink in. Let it
Yep.
all sink in because there is a beginning coming. But like if you keep pushing for it, it's not going to make it happen any
Oh,
faster.
absolutely.
It's
No,
like
100%.
staring at water boiling. Staring at the fucking pot's not going to make the water boil faster. You just got to fucking rest. Just wait for it, man. It's coming. It's coming.
Cool, cool. All right, then. Well, on
Yeah.
that
All
note, I'll
right.
finish off with the kangaroos, koalas, and Steve Irwin impersonations that I've done about 100 overseas. I'm apparently pretty bloody good at them. What a great man he is. This has been Life Theories. It's the lovely Sarah over in Vancouver. Don't mind Vancouver, hint, hint. Don't mind it over there. She's on Big Soul Healing, and she does a lot of wonderful things. She's the most powerful one of all of us. And we've got Diana, our fearless leader, fearless fly over here. See her everywhere, mate. You can see her everywhere on Trailblazer Universe. She's got her rocket and off she goes. Bloody Green Lantern, Starfire, whatever. Yep, there you go. Trailblazer of the universe. My oath, she is. And the transformation she's making, everyone should see this lady and use her as inspiration. Well done there. And the big fella, the Seaman, the man of Seaman. Where is he? I love saying it. The man of Seaman. I should be his promo man. Cortez Medford. Don't be dirty. It's about the semen retention. I just can't say to him, sit there and goes, oh, brother, I love you. Okay, Batman. There's symbolism in Batman too, but he's over in the UK at Spiritual Needs TV, and he's doing some work with my friend Jackie as well. I'll give her a quick plug. Jackie Lyons over in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and she's doing some wonderful work with sex, drugs, and spirituality. And obviously, Big Solomon King, the big fella down in Houston, Texas. Fantastic to meet that great man. Just look at him, Solomon King, on Facebook, Twitter, and all the rest of it. And myself, Journey of a White Further, Words of the Warrior on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I've talked too much. It's been Life Theories. I'm going to go back to bed maybe. I'll think about it. But thank you so much for your time and live your best life and be the best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be, as Bret Hart always says. Thanks so much. See you next time on Life Theories.
Bye.
Bye.